On a Monday?
The do-run-run. The Crystals. I bought all their records.
Why, were you a fan?
No, not really. But Brenda Aitken used to love coming round and shaking to the Crystals. And I used to love to watch.
I see.
Thought I'd thrown all these away.
Yeah, well, you can throw them all away now. Because we're supposed to be turning this cellar into a brewery, not a discotheque.
Spider! Oh, no. It's a bit of fluff. Can't throw these away. These are golden oldies, collector's items.
Good, we can sell them. Now, can we get on, Russell? I have an interview this morning.
I'm not selling these.
Well, you're not playing them.
Why not?
Because I gave that horrible old record player to the church jumble sale.
You what? That record player wasn't even mine. I borrowed it for a party.
Well, why didn't you tell me?
Well, I didn't know you in 1964. Oh, look what I found.
What is that?
That is Carol Rankin.
Was she ill?
I hope not. Why?
She looks like a corpse.
She was Queen of the Fitzley Mods.
Fancy that?
Yes, I did. Hang on. Yes. Carol gave me this for my 16th birthday.
Finchley Central is 2 and 6pence, and gold is green on the northern line.
I see Memory Lane is well served by the underground.
Oh, hark a goody two-shoes. I suppose that to you the swinging 60s was just a newspaper headline.
Of course not. We had a chubby checker long player.
Really? My goodness me, Saturday nights must have been really feverish around your place.
Look, Russell, it was quite difficult to obtain pop records in Kenya. To you, the crude pounding of tom-toms signified nothing more sinister than a night jiving to the Dave Clark 5. Where we lived in Kenya, it meant the Mau Mau were on the rampage.
I never liked the Dave Clark 5. Now, can we get on, please? I've got a brewery arriving this morning.
Russell?
What now?
Whose was this?
It was mine.
You never told me you helped relieve Mafeking.
Actually, 3rd Battalion, King's Road Strollers.
You weren't one of those hippies.
Well, only at the weekends.
My father would have had you horsewhipped for impersonating an officer.
In 1967, this jacket symbolised peace and love. Everyone wore them.
How come you only wore yours at weekends?
The one time I ever wore it to work, I got beaten up.
Serves you right.
I suppose as a colonel's daughter, you were too good to be true.
Not at all. We simply had to maintain certain standards, that's all.
And I suppose the shockwaves of the Permissive Society never once lapped the sun-kissed shores of East Africa.
No, they lapped.
Oh, they did they?
Uh-huh.
Why, what were you getting up to?
Russell, isn't it all rather morbid, your obsession with things past? Your old records, your old fashions, your old baggages.
What happened in Kenya?
You don't want to hear about all-night beach parties in Mombasa, Russell. Look to the future. We're facing the most exciting challenges of our lives. You're going to get the chance to be your own boss.
You've never mentioned all-night beach parties before. How old were you?
It was legal, Russell. But think ahead, darling. Think how lucky you are. I mean, how many men...
Well, yes, exactly. How many men? And what was legal?
Staying out all night when there was a curfew. We had permission from Daddy, and anyway, there are always stacks of young officers longing to look after me.
You're teasing me, aren't you?
No, I've never been a tease, Russell. Now, look, you're going to have to get on down here on your own. I've got to get ready for my interview.
Penny, will you come here, please?
Well, I was just going to run my bath.
You can't wash away the past, Penny.
Oh, it was a long time ago, darling, before we met. Don't tell me you're jealous.
All right. I won't tell you.
You are, aren't you? Hmm?
Yes.
Good. Now, permission to have my bath, please.
Only if I can scrub your back.
But surely, Colonel Fanshawe, other women have come back into the army after having children.
Surprisingly, no. In fact, you'll be something of a pioneer, especially with so young a baby.
Oh.
Still, someone has to be first over the top.
So do 12th Signals want me back?
With your record, most certainly.
Oh, that's super.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Ah, a thought.
What?
I've just recalled we did have a captain, no names, no pack drill, who resumed her commission after having 2 children. But the youngest had started school before our captain came back into harvest.
Oh, yes, I see.
Now, you tell me that it's Mr. Milburn who'll be looking after baby Emma.
Yes.
He sounds a quite remarkable man.
Yes, I suppose he does.
Quite remarkable, when one reflects that our other captain...
No names, no pack drill.
Mum's the word. Had a nanny and a governess when the children were at home. Still, she is married to a viscount.
That must have helped.
One can't help suspecting. Does Mr. Milburn come from a service family?
I think his father was a scoutmaster.
Quite.
Would I be jumping the gun, ma'am, to ask when my posting might come through?
Well, I can't be specific here and now, but let's say a matter of weeks rather than months.
Oh, good. And they'll contact me?
Of course. Otherwise, they wouldn't be signals, would they?
Come on, Emma, concentrate. You can do it. What? Clever girl.
Mark my words, that girl is going to take after her father. Cool. Walk on the paper, Ross? I didn't spend an hour over yon hot squeegee just for some sauce.
Yes, all right. Go on. Whoops.
Paper!
Oh, that smells a bit tasty. Well, traditional quiche with herbs is nothing to a man who brews his own beer.
It must be quite a complicated recipe all the same.
Well, if you can read, you can follow a recipe.
What did you put in it then, Ross?
Well, you know, herbs.
There must be eggs in it.
Yes, of course. I mean, eggs go without saying.
And do our noses deceive us, Emma? Or do we smell mushrooms?
Yes, there are mushrooms in it.
Oh, and that unmistakable scent of preservatives, emulsifiers, monosodium glutamate. Even in 3 days of purchase.
Careful.
You don't have to be ashamed of using pre-packed food. All busy mothers use it. Woo! As long as the ale's the real thing.
Young lady, can you read?
Are you speaking to me?
Yes, I am. I don't quite understand how you came to bypass Yeoman Harrison, but this communications centre is strictly no-go territory to members of the public. Heaven alone knows how you came to wander into this nerve centre. And you alone know what you thought you were doing, trying the handle of a door clearly marked absolutely no admittance.
It wasn't locked.
Yes, I'm not responsible for this communication centre. I run the mobile unit.
Ah. Well, when I'm responsible for this comsend, that door will not be left unlocked.
Are you Army?
Captain Penelope Milburn.
Hector Quilly. HQ to my friend.
Yes. How do you do, Captain Quilly?
Sir, you're a woman.
Colonel Fanshawe did remark on your incisive powers of observation.
What? What? Okay, very good, yeah. Nobody told me you'd be a woman.
Nobody told me you'd be a man.
This brewing equipment of yours is a bit overdue, isn't it? If I'd known it was going to be this late, I would never have got up early and missed a good day's unemployment.
Don't worry yourself, Fitz. You still did nothing. All you did was reminisce over my souvenirs.
Joe, I was stunned to find you kept to do, Ron. I met her on the Monday and the heart. Oh, brought back memories of Brenda Aitken doing the shake. Big girl for 14. Here, if you still got that old record player...
No, Penny gave it to the church jumble sale.
Well, that's fair enough, seeing that you nicked it from the church youth club.
I borrowed it, Fitz. I borrowed it. Anyway, I had to buy a new needle.
Oh, but it was worth it. Do you remember Brenda?
Brenda Aitken. Oh, well, time moves on, Fitz. She's probably married by now with a mortgage, 1.8 children, responsibilities, frustrations.
Milkman.
You
know, Russ, you're really lucky with a wife like Penny.
Oh, yes. At least she pays the milkman and sends him on his way with his empties.
Goes without saying.
At least so she says.
By the way, where is Penny?
I told you, last interview for rejoining the army.
Oh, she'll hold her own.
Oh, I'm sure she will. If the going gets tough, she can always flirt with the interviewer.
No, not my Penny.
Oh, she's yours as well, is she?
What's got into you, Ross?
Me? Do you know, while Penny's father was in Kenya, she was raving it up with all the young officers out there?
That was years before you met her. About the time, come to think of it, you were having a frantic fling with a window dresser from Dunstable. You met at Butlins.
That's not the point. I'm not going back to Butlins. Penny is going back to all those gallant young officers. I mean, what chance do I stand if she comes home and finds me in a pinny? And that's on the night she does come home. You've seen those recruiting adverts on television where the young corporal says, "This night exercise has been the most satisfying experience of my life."
Ross, who's been telling these stories of Penny's torrid past?
Penny.
Well, there you are then. She's having you on.
Me?
Yes, you.
Well, why?
Well, I mean, look at it from her point of view. I mean, how do you think she feels leaving you at home all day in a street full of randy housewives?
Well, yes, you can see her point.
Yeah, she's just winding you up. Heaven knows it's easy enough. Biscuits? Yeah. You've got nothing to worry about with Penny. She's pure as the driven snow.
You really think so?
Of course. She's just drifted a bit.
I heard that, Fitz.
You better answer it then.
Oh, hello. Nearly given you up. Traffic on the motorway?
Pardon?
You need any help unloading the lorry? Where is the lorry?
Mr. Milburn?
Yes?
Yes, I'm from the Borough Planning Department. You made an application to convert your house into a brewery.
Yes? Something wrong?
Yes, I think I'd better come in, because whatever you want to do, you can't do it. Now, you did send in your plans, an OP2 pink. You should have waited for us to send you an OP3 buff. Then you return the OP3 buff, and we open a file that goes before the next Development Control Subcommittee as an application for change of use from residential to light industrial. Understand? Good. Couldn't be simpler.
Yes, but I've got a 1.5 barrel copper and 2 fermentation vessels arriving any minute.
He's sunk all his redundancy money into this adventure.
Then you've rather jumped the gun, haven't you?
Well, can't I even store the equipment in the cellar?
Well, the council can't physically prevent you putting your equipment wherever you like. But what the fire officer will say...
Oh, Fitz, tell me this isn't happening.
You don't come from round here, do you?
Harlow, Newtown, how did you know?
Because if you were a local, you'd know this man's brewing is hardly your average run-of-the-mill capitalist enterprise. Russell's beer is the social lubricant of N7 4XR.
Oh, then perhaps he should apply for an Arts Council grant.
Look, try a half.
Oh, not while I'm on duty.
Please, consider it part of your investigation.
Ah, well, in that case, cheers. Oh, well, it's very good. Yeah. Is this the product you plan to produce?
Well, I hope so.
And how will you get it to your customers?
Well, they'll have to come and collect it.
Because only having a small garden shed, Russell hasn't got room to stable the dray horses.
Yeah, just as well, really. Otherwise, you'd need to fill in an OP7 blue brackets livestock. Yeah, that's a different committee. Ooh, Parks and Recreations, they only meet in the holidays.
Well, I think that's £2 worth of useless brewing equipment.
I'll tell them you're not in.
Look, couldn't you just overlook my little brewery until the planning application's cleared?
Well, I do sympathise, Mr. Milburn, and between you and me, I'm sure there are dozens of small businessmen who set up without even having the common courtesy to complete an OP2 pink. And if the council doesn't know...
The council can't worry.
Precisely. But you were courteous enough to complete an OP2 pink.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, don't tell me it's the fire officer.
Wrong. Mr. Walter McKechnie. Dip Eng Memb Nat Inst Sewage Management.
Afternoon, Reg.
Walter?
Waterboard Trade Effluent Officer. You're never going to fit a brewery into this house.
Russell, what on earth's going on?
Oh, hello, Penny. I don't think you've met Reg Fisher, Planning Department, Andrew Howe, Customs and Excise, Ted Snowden, Fire Officer, and Walter McKechnie from the Waterboard. My wife, Penny.
Hello. So, really, Mr. Fisher, it all depends on getting planning permission.
Well, I suppose so, but then...
Hang on a minute. What about all that effluent, then? I mean, you install a runoff 2 mil too narrow and your effluent's going to start coming up in next door's bar.
Well, you tell me what size piping to install.
Well, there's your problem. Until you can supply stabilising disposal
Mr.
estimates...
McKechnie, this is hardly the pioneering spirit that made British sewage management the envy of the civilised world.
Here, here. She took the words right out of my mouth.
Look, here is a remarkable man who is trying to launch a productive enterprise. And here you worthy gentlemen are, drinking the very beer you want to prevent him producing, saying he can't do this and he can't do that.
We're not saying he can't. All we're saying is that certain channels...
Mr. Howe, may I ask how old you are?
Old enough to be your father.
Yes, as I thought. Now, in 1944, my father was battling his way into Burma. What were you doing?
I did my bit.
Yes, I'm sure you did, Mr. Howe. In those days, everyone pulled together. People didn't look for reasons why not. They made things happen.
Look, all I'm concerned with is your fire risk. Install a door, improve the steps, and you can have your fire certificate tomorrow.
Well, really, Mrs. Milburn, there's no need to take that attitude. All Her Majesty's Customs and Excise Department want is that you have a proper sugar store.
But I still say your effluent...
Mr. McKechnie.
Well, I suppose you could install a Hankin and Thompson three-way valve.
So, it's all down to you then, Reg. After all, I did fill in an OP2 pink.
Well, you did, Mr. Milburn, but in the final analysis, it's still the planning committee...
But surely you can put in a good word.
Well, of course, and the committee do treat my recommendations with a modicum of respect, but I can't guarantee that they're going to...
Well, if you can't guarantee, how can the water
Oh,
board?
this is ridiculous. There must be something.
I have said little hereunto for this moment.
Shut up.
That's all right. We have all heard Captain Milburn's...
Captain Milburn?
Women's Royal Army Corps.
Captain Milburn's eloquent pleading, but I feel that I can add a useful observation. Our council, in their wisdom, is committed to the revitalisation of the inner city, of which this street is a part. Furthermore, there was a big world election the other night, I think it was, about, small businesses giving work to problem kids and that sort of thing.
Yes, that's right. Yes, I saw that. Yes, now, if you can offer a job to a difficult-to-employ young person, I think the upper age limit is fairly flexible, then you're laughing.
Am I?
Hysterically. You are undeniably right in the inner city. Now all you have to do is to employ an otherwise unemployable individual, and you may even qualify for a council grant.
Yes, but that's all very well. But where am I going to get an unemployable juvenile delinquent before the lorry arrives?
Russell.
Isn't it about time you had a proper job? Young Fitz?
Do you know, it wasn't so long ago we were down here sorting through your old records, getting all nostalgic over Brenda Aiken doing the shape.
You've tightened the Hankin and Thompson three-way valve, have you?
Of course I did.
Captain Milburn will be home any minute.
Unless she stopped off at the officers' mess for a few manoeuvres.
No, she wouldn't do anything like that. Would she?
Well, she's only been back a couple of days and, hey!
You're winding me up again, Fitz.
Like a clockwork mouse.
Quick! All present and correct, Ma'am.
Right. Haircut. At ease.
Well, what do you think?
Very impressive.
Champagne's ready.
We're not opening a brewery with champagne, surely.
Oh, we're not going to drink it. This is a launching.
Russell, this is my best vintage champagne. $16.99 it cost me.
Hang on. Oh, vintage champagne.
Oh, what's in this?
Water.
Ah.
Right.
I named this brewery.
Milburn's.
Highly original. I named this brewery Milburn's. God bless all who work in her, especially our Milburn founder, who by standing on his own 2 feet will make it impossible for the beer lovers of N7 to stand on theirs.
Well,
Here we are. Thank you.
right. Cheers.
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 Well, I suppose someone will have to clear that mess up in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh.
More funny goings-on next in Surgical Spirit.